All children are artists. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. Pablo Picasso. The dictionary defines an artist as a person who produces paintings or drawings as a profession or a hobby. An artist is also a person who practices any of the various creative arts, such as sculptors, poets, writers, filmmakers, and painters. Labeling oneself as an artist is something I'm sure most of us struggle with. It feels pretentious. It feels like we are so caught up in our own egos that we can't see that we just can't stand on the same leg as the great masters such as Pablo Picasso and Leonardo da Vinci, and it's infuriating is what it is. We are all so inundated with the imposter syndrome that we just cannot fathom ourselves as being able to walk around with the label artist and call ourselves artists and be proud of the fact that we are creators, that we put out important things into the world. I don't care if you're just simply creating fan art, if you just play around on your guitar, doing every so often you play ditties for your friends and families. I don't care if you stand on a stage at a local bar doing covers of your favorite music, of your favorite artists and your favorite songs. I don't care if you sit down with Sculpey and you make cutesy little dragons or dolphins, or sit there in the middle of your math class writing out edgy emo poetry to help you get through life. Essentially, you are an artist. And this is something I struggle with. This is something I've noticed a lot of artists struggle with. That name, that title has so much weight behind it. We've put so much value into it that we can't see ourselves standing even in its shadow. We can't see ourselves ever claiming that title, because if we do, everyone will turn on us and judge us for just being egotistical, for being so full of ourselves that we think we have mastered our craft. An artist is not someone who is a master of their craft. Let's go back to that definition. That first definition: a person who produces paintings or drawings as a profession or a hobby. I don't know about you, but I have been creating drawings and paintings since I was a child. And according to even Pablo Picasso, all children are artists. I was an artist the moment I decided I really, really liked to draw in color, and I started doing it as a hobby. I believe I started doing that before I even learned how to write. I have been drawing and painting since before I could read. I have been an artist since before I could read. And so many of us have been artists since before we even understood what the term art was. And you may be today's years old, finding out what the term art is. Art is a piece of creative work. It doesn't matter if it's popular. It doesn't matter if it's technically correct or if it falls under a certain genre or a certain practice, a certain anything. Art is the creative. Art is creative. Art is what you create. And I don't care what Susie down the road says. I don't care what your mom or dad says. You are an artist if you create for a profession or a hobby. What is a hobby? A hobby is something that you do during your downtime for self-care. I did not look up this. I do not know the dictionary term or the dictionary definition for hobby. I did not look that one up. But a hobby is something you do because you enjoy it. The reward you get out of a hobby is personal. So according to the dictionary, people who create for their personal benefits, because it is a hobby, it makes them happy, it helps them take care of themselves creatively, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. They are creating art for themselves. I know I personally have parents who do not understand why I draw or paint. They don't understand. They are more than happy to put my paintings and my drawings on their wall. I am a 30-something-year-old woman who still shows off my drawings and paintings to my mom and dad for approval. I am a literal child in an adult's body. And they don't understand why I do what I do. All they understand is that I enjoy it and that it costs me money to do the thing I like to do. It costs me markedly less money now that I have adopted digital art as my main medium instead of watercolor and acrylic, which was breaking the bank because of how much I was using. I draw and I paint constantly. I have so many, and most of them are unfinished. I don't finish anything. But they don't understand. If I told them I'm an artist, they will laugh and ignore me. They will think that I am just being a kid. I'm just a child. I don't understand. I'm not in a museum, so how could I possibly be an artist? Well, let me tell you what. I don't need their validation. It's nice when they tell me that they enjoy something of mine. And it is nice when my mom wants to put one of my posters up on the wall, though it is infuriating when she can't see what's on the poster properly. And I had this painting and rabbit trail. I had this painting. I made it into a poster, and it was a grave cleric painting because I am a huge fan of D&D and Critical Role. And I love Taliesin Jaffe, and I love Caduceus. So I made a grave cleric poster. It has skulls and it has flowers, and it has a lot of iconography from the Day of the Dead and, their altars and that. And Mom couldn't see the skulls. All she saw was pretty flowers, and she had no idea how creepy it was. And she stuck it on her wall, and she's happy, and she still can't see the skulls, and it drives me nuts because they're right there. How can you not see them? Evidently, that painting's not good enough because you can't tell that the skulls are skulls. Gotta readdress that painting one day. But anyway, My point is that you do not need anyone to validate you. You do not need anyone to tell you, to give you permission to be an artist, because you already are one. You are already an artist. You already create art. I don't care what you do. I don't care if I don't care what you do. If it's creative, you are an artist. I don't care if you make money off of it. I don't care if you're in the hole like me and spend more money than you make on your art. I don't care if you just sit there in the middle of science class, math class, or whatever, doodling in your sketchbook like I used to do, or in your textbook. Don't do that. But I was guilty of it. I don't care how you create or in what context you create. You could be drawing straight up porn. It is still art. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Because they are wrong. And this is me. I, Shawnna, am giving you permission that you do not need at all. But some of you are still probably sitting there thinking, oh, well, I still need permission. I am giving you permission that you do not need, but I will give it to you anyway. You are an artist. Now go out there and create art, because you are awesome. Thank you. And before you leave, this is now we're going to calm down a second. We got to calm down a second. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in and let it out. Now that you understand, and now that you have the courage, you are, and the knowledge, you are now an artist, and forever will be an artist. I don't care if you stop making art, you will forever be an artist. Leonardo da Vinci didn't stop being an artist when he stopped creating. You don't start or stop being an artist when you die. You do not stop being an artist when you move on to something else. Because you are inherently creative. Those of us who pursue creative outlets are inherently creative. And I want to welcome you to my channel. This is a brand new channel. It's probably going to be full of a lot of things like this, where I am just ranting and raving at you about craziness, this is a motivation channel. I really want to motivate new artists, current artists, old artists, artists who have lost their way, their confidence. This is the place for you. Because this is going to be positive. Everything, hopefully, that I post will be positive and will be uplifting and will be motivational. And I invite you to join me. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to be a part of that. And I welcome you to my artist family, because we are here to support one another. Please look down into the description, and you'll find some links to my social media. Please Feel free to follow me. You do not need to. You do not have to. Just go ahead if you want to. And thank you for being with me today.